Hey you, yeah you. Before we get this video started, I just want to say a thank you for those who have been a member of my Patreon. If you want to be a member of my Patreon, leave a link in the description down below right here. And there's a list right here of all the people who have been a member or a following member of the Patreon to help keep this channel alive. I would appreciate it if you do show your support, guys. You guys are awesome, and I really thank you for your support. Also, commissions are open, so if you want to commission for me to draw something for you, go to my DeviantArt page right here as well, in the link in the description, and I'll draw something for you. But make sure you hopefully follow the rules in my Patreon on my Patreon and commission, so we can get it on the list for me to draw something for you guys. I would really appreciate it if you do, and yeah. As always, take care, and have a great day, and let's start the video, shall we?
What is up, YouTube? Ross the Hobidon here, and today we are back with another reaction video for all of you. This is a nostalgia critic, The Prince of Egypt by DreamWorks. And if you haven't checked out the video, I'll leave a link in the description down below, so go check it out for yourself. Hit like, comment, and subscribe for more videos along the way, and hit that notification bell. And as well as join the Hobidon Squad if you want to be a member of the Hobidon Squads. Prince of Egypt is a childhood memory of mine. I really enjoyed this movie. The art style, the music, the characters is beautiful, and why I'm glad to be a Christian. And yeah, not many Christian animations are really well received nowadays. You know how it's usually DreamWorks, Prince of Egypt, or VeggieTales, and Saber Sparks. If you check out Saber Sparks' channel, yeah, he's been tackling some very terrible Christian animations, and they seem to be late. Nowadays, they make it lazy, uncreative, ugly art style, weird. You know, typical, because they think, oh, it's a Christian. Oh, they think it's a Christian movie. We might as well be. We don't have to try. Let's make it poorly received and not animated well. I'm sure they treat kids and think Christian folks are dumb. No, we are not dumb. No, we are not. We want something great. And Prince of Egypt is one of the best animations for a series, and it's something you can enjoy while learning about God. And if you want to watch a good Christian series besides VeggieTales, there's a series called Superbook. Go check that out. It's very popular, well animated. Even though it's about a boy and a girl and a robot helper in the future, going back in time, learning about the events in the Bible. You get to see the battle of God, basically the battle of David and Goliath. You see Lucifer fighting Michael in heaven. You will see basically the death of Jesus while rising from the dead. You see some real, very well animated stuff, as well as other animations like Solomon, King Solomon, as well as basically, oh man, King Nebuchadnezzar, all the other stuff. The story of Job, one of my favorite stories, Job. Please check out Superbook, the newest one. It's out. It's still, they have lots of series. It's well animated. I'm trying to request to Saber Sparks, please check out the new Superbook CGI animated series. I'm pretty sure he is going to like it, since he's having a hard time trying to find Christian shows. But without further ado, I'm done talking. Let's get on to it. In 3, 2, 1, Nostalgia Critic, let's go.
This episode brought to you by Full Sail University. Immerse yourself in the world of filmmaking from every angle.
All right.
Also brought to you by DoorDash. The app that brings you food you're craving right now, right to your door.
Yay! Channel awesome. Big explosion. The intro has changed over the years. Now some rain. Whole team, John Walker, Stuart Walker and Bob Walker, written by those two, for their brothers. Nostalgia Critic.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy. Remember it so you don't have to.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of movies that changed the way we look at epics. Lawrence of Arabia, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and arguably one of the biggest trailblazers, the Ten Commandments, both the original and the remake. And we're going to talk in great detail about how both these movies left a huge impact on the world of cinema. Anyone else here in that?
What's wrong?
Excuse me for a second.
Okay. Oh, we're doing this. We're doing this.
Critic, take your shoes from your feet.
Fuck you, Quinn.
Seriously, you're tracking mud over holy ground.
Dude, this is the internet. Feet are like unobtainium here.
Okay,
Wow.
fine. Just
He's not wrong.
answer me this. Why have you abandoned me?
Abandon you? You're the Prince of Egypt. You're like the anime film I watched the most when I was a teen.
Yet you're talking about 10 Commandments.
Well, I like you more, but Ten Commandments left a bigger impact on cinema.
And I didn't?
No. You were a hand-drawn film at a time when CG was Beyonceing from Destiny's Child.
So that means I
Yikes.
matter less.
No. I mean, yes. I mean, I don't know.
How many
Yikes.
people praise 10 Commandments?
A lot.
And how many people praise Prince of Egypt?
A few.
You never talk about me anymore. I
Yeah.
used to be the most beautiful animated film you ever saw. Now it's all Into the Spider-Verse and Lego Movie and Kung Fu Panther.
Panda.
I know what I said.
Clearly don't.
I just want you to look at me with the awe you had when you first saw me.
Look, an anime Blu-ray who obtained speech, you may be right. Maybe not enough people talk about how impressive you were.
I
even
still
2
love
decades
this movie.
later.
Well, too little too late.
Look, polish
This
your
movie
disc,
was my
upgrade your
childhood.
cover art, because I'm gonna treat you like royalty.
You really mean it?
Absolutely, I have taken you for granted. It's about time everybody sees you for the true prince that you are.
Oh my god. I can't wait to tell all my book club.
All right.
Hey, guess what underrated animated film might get a resurgence?
Well, it is underrated.
Yeah. Not many people talk about Prince of Egypt, despite it's one of the best animated movies in DreamWorks.
Released in 1998, Prince of Egypt was one of the last major
1998.
hand-drawn animated films that turned in a decent profit at the time. That wasn't Disney. Serving as one of the first major releases from then new studio, DreamWorks. This was their attempt to show they could play with the big boys and turn in something as massive as Disney.
Can I just say, if DreamWorks started tackling Bible stories in this art style, this animation, and basic, as well as the whole story of what's going on from the Old Testament, New Testament in this artwork, I'll be up for it. I'll be happy to watch it. We need more. I would like to see more of this art style that tackles the Bible stories. The only good Christian program, like I said, is the new Superbook. Even though it's CGI animated, it's well animated. It actually gives good lessons. Children enjoys it. Families enjoys it. It's a great series. They even like I said, Superbook even had the final battle at the end of the world, the Revelations. Go check it out.
And to put it bluntly, this was my Lion King. Don't get me wrong, I really like that film and I know how important it was, but when you ask me what nostalgic animated movie I associate with having big drama, big characters, big landscapes, big songs, everything you associate with being epic that you watched a ton of times in theaters and even more times at home, that was Prince of Egypt for me.
Yes, pretty much. Also, but my fun fact about the Superbook series: the guy who voices Lucifer, aka Satan, in the Superbook series, is the same voice actor who plays the main villain of Inuyasha, Naraku. That guy. It's been a while. It's hard to say his name, but he voices the villain. The most annoying villain in Inuyasha, who keeps cheating death that everybody hates because he won't die. And Kigome and Inuyasha finally beat him in the final series of Inuyasha series. He now plays the devil in Superbook. Yeah, go check that. Now you're interested in checking it out?
I loved the beautiful artistry, layered acting, visual storytelling, and complex emotions.
Right.
Though it did fine when it came out, I think a lot of people still associate it with, well, kid stuff. And truth be told, you can see why.
Yeah.
It is still a musical like many kids' films, hand-drawn like many kids' films, has comic relief like many kids' films, and yes, was marketed as a kids' film.
Next week only,
True.
you can get a free beanbag camel toy.
My favorite part was the baby in the water. Mommies keep their little boys and girls
That's
safe.
cute.
My favorite part is when all the firstborns died. Na,
No.
na, na, na. Oh, I mean, do, 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 do.
And while the film does certainly aim for the children demographic as well,
did.
Just to show we feel no spite.
yeah, we'll get to that. The
Oh, yeah,
clever
we'll get
ways
to
it
it.
utilizes its medium to tell its story is still awe-inspiring. Just because it's a musical doesn't mean it's not a great musical. Just
Right.
because it's hand-drawn doesn't mean it's not spectacularly hand-drawn. And even with state-of-the-art technology at the time, the movie still utilizes a lot of classic film
This was
storytelling
really good during its
techniques.
time.
You can practically do a drinking game to how many shots were clearly inspired by Citizen Kane, Lawrence of Arabia, and yes, the Ten Commandments. It's a film I hold very close to my heart, even if sometimes I forget the impact it's had on me. Well, today, we're gonna give credit where it's due. This is the underappreciated, but still massively impressive, Prince of Egypt. I'll admit, there is something funny about the film's intro saying how authentic it is right before everyone breaks into a musical number.
Wow. That is true. I forgot about that.
Again, you can see how some people would have a problem getting a grasp on this film.
And everything nice.
The songs are by Steven Schwartz and orchestrated by
The Powerpuff
I
Girls.
guess a lot
That
of
was
folks
a
wanted to
good
see
one.
Elton John and Tim Rice back like they did
That was
with
a good
Lion
one.
King, but Schwartz's songs are pretty damn epic.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm just not sure how the John and Rice combo would work here.
Oh, come on. El Dorado.
When was this?
Road to
98?
El
Was it back
Dorado,
when
still a
PG
good
still
one.
meant something? Oh yeah, they mean business. Yeah, this isn't like Onwards PG with
Yeah.
thematic elements. This is the Addams Family Girl Scout cookie joke replaced with baby food. You
Yeah.
actually need parental guidance in this film that recommends parental guidance.
Yeah, this scene was heartbreaking.
Fearing her baby will be next, a mother puts her son in a basket hoping he'll survive the dangerous waters. You can actually do a bookend count. There's so many clever callbacks in this film, but we'll get to those when we get to those.
And people wants to know where they get the last survivor of their kind becoming the savior of the universe, becoming the savior. Yeah, the Moses story kind of started the whole thing. And it was adapted by Dragon Ball Z and Superman. Well, Superman did it second. But Superman did it for Dragon Ball Z. You get the point. It came from this.
Well, God's not answering that prayer.
Oh,
God's
come
not
on.
really known for giving his chosen ones
Wow.
the fluffiest of lives.
I wouldn't say it like that.
He's
Come
washed
on.
away to the queen, who comes across the baby in her pond. Aw, Sarah, tell the soldiers they missed one.
No!
The baby is named Moses, and he grows up into a young prince played by Val Kilmer, with his brother Ramesses played by Ray Fiennes. This is a star-studded cast.
These
with
are
none of
amazing
them
actors.
Egyptian shame. I wanted to enjoy this too. It's just Gods of Egypt, except less animated.
No, come on.
Always looked up to me. Yes, but it's not much of a view.
So, while humor is certainly a needed levity in a film like this, and it helps hook younger viewers in as well, how did Ray Romano put it?
It's not really about the kids.
Yes, the humor is more
Oh.
a means to show how everyone works off each other.
Right.
Moses and Ramesses playfully get in trouble, caring nothing for the slaves or their hard work they destroy.
Yeah.
The priests, played by Steve Martin and Martin Short, keep their positions of power through illusions,
I
claiming
knew they
they're the
sounded
works of the
familiar.
gods. Even the spin of Moses' wig is to make it clear he isn't scalping himself later on when he takes it off. So unlike other comic relief where they exist only to provide laughter, these comedic elements do all play a part in telling the story. With that said, it would
That
be nice
makes
if they were
sense.
funnier.
Don't think we'll get in trouble for this, do you? No, not a chance. You're in trouble, young man. Get down here.
My new thing. That line is so lazy it might actually work its way around to being funny again.
You're not wrong.
Notice us coming in. Nobody will even notice.
Everybody hates Ramesses. But the dramatic moments are not only effective, they're concise. You get right away that Pharaoh, played by Patrick Stewart, places a lot of pressure on Ramesses, saying he could be the weak link to bring
Patrick Stewart playing the Pharaoh. Man, he did an amazing job. He captured the role. He was intimidating. He was serious.
down their empire, which he ultimately will be. But he also does care for his children. He's not a 100%
But he had that caring
movie
side.
monster.
I know he will live up to your
But
expectations.
he had that caring side, like he said.
Maybe so.
All of this is set up in just 3 minutes, and the rest is established through subtle touches. Like Ramesses' place of relaxing is always in his father's lap. And even the sculptures of Pharaoh are
noticed that.
constantly looking down on him. They get across a lot with more than just dialogue. It's body language, scenery, and returning imagery.
Escaping
Also,
from
I
his
do want
father's
this on a
shadow.
t-shirt.
Be still. Pharaoh speaks.
Tell me that wouldn't sell.
It would.
To celebrate Ramesses being crown prince regent, the priests offer up a woman they captured from Midian, named Zipporah, played by Michelle Pfeiffer.
She looks
You will
beautiful.
show the proper respect for a prince of Egypt.
But I am showing you all the respect you deserve. None!
In biblical times, that was their version of not! Fun trivia, if you notice this
She
one
is beautifully
servant
well
popping
drawn.
up every once in a while, it's because he was originally given a much bigger role. Moses would
Really?
confess his thoughts to him the same way the owners in Downton Abbey would talk to their staff. But the connection between the brothers seemed more important, so a lot of his lines were given to Ramesses, reducing his
Okay.
character and all his lines of dialogue to simply,
You there, Hafed sent to Prince Moses' chambers.
so as a running joke, the directors always referred to this once essential character as simply, you there.
You there.
Still got more attention than Cyborg in the Wheaton Cut.
Wow.
Zipporah tries escaping, but Moses notices her.
That was painful.
There's a man tied up in my room.
Oh, also that woman is getting away. Sorry, I should have led with that. She escapes, but Moses comes across his real brother and sister, Miriam and Aaron, played by Sandra Bullock and Jeff
man.
Goldblum.
At last.
Last.
Didn't I tell you I knew he
I forgot Jeff Goldblum played Aaron, Moses' brother. I forgot about that.
would return to us when he was ready.
Miriam, do you want us followed?
I know I kind of crapped on the comedy earlier, but honestly, their improvising surprisingly adds a lot to this scene. It emphasizes the tragedy of pretending to be inferior to someone when you know you share the same blood.
She's exhausted from the day's work. Not that it was too much. We quite enjoyed it, but she's confused.
She thinks this is a Disney production. I keep trying to tell her it's Don Bluth.
Wow.
You will regret this night.
Hush now, my baby.
This is actually one of the directors, Brenda Chapman, singing here, who also does the Angel of Death voice.
Oh.
Another director,
Okay.
Simon Wells, would do the voice of the old man getting whipped later as well. These actually weren't meant as clever cameos, they just weirdly matched. They even said Simon was the only voice who sounded like an old guy, even when they had old guy scream for the part. Oh, and like I said,
That is
callback.
true.
Remember my last lullaby.
I've heard a lot of people say, how could Moses remember that song if he was a baby, but
Yeah, that,
it's a musical! The song should be utilized
Yeah.
whenever they can, and with him whistling the tune earlier,
that is true. He did
I
whistle
think it's a
it.
clever way to show we figured it out. Speaking of which, it's time for the Nuh-uh song.
This is my home, and if anybody doubts it, they couldn't be more wrong.
Denial. It isn't just a river in Egypt. Ooh, someone cut the budget in half.
Oh yeah, this dream sequence
The
was.
sequence is a clever way
As
to
a kid,
establish
I
that
was
Moses
terrified
is
of this
dreaming,
dream
as a lot of
sequence.
directors of animated films have
'Cause
said.
I was in-
that's
it was like I was
very
in
difficult to get
Moses'
across
point of view.
sometimes. Personally, this is just what I dream when I combine Chipotle with Link Between Worlds at night. He envisions himself being tossed with the other babies, another really great metaphor,
Yeah.
when he searches the temples and discovers the awful truth.
Yeah. Yeah, your adopted dad murdered a lot of people.
They might have
Yeah, you should have painted over that too.
Sacrifices must be made.
Guess they were proud of it.
Again, the film is really good at making Pharaoh seem human, but not too sympathetic.
Oh, my son. They were only slaves.
It's not like I took away your
Wow.
TikTok account.
Come on.
Is that-
Come on.
Let's do a thing, TikTok. I'm not on top of what the kids are into, but maybe it's because I slaughtered them. After having
Oh man. Reason why the Pharaoh killed all the children and killed all the Israelites, slaves, children in Egypt, mostly the males, because the Egyptians fear the Israelites will increase and rise to power. That's why they kill as many of their children, of their firstborn children, who is a son. If they're a boy, they die. The girl, they live. Yeah, it got dark Egyptian times back then. And these events in the Moses takes place in real events in the past. You think these stories were written in modern times? No. They didn't make this up.
A nice talk with his mother, played by Helen Mirren, he looks at the treatment of his people differently.
Fate has turned our little misadventure into a great opportunity.
I'll admit I love that they used the nose knocked over earlier as a viewing point, and it'll be a great addition to Egyptian Double Dare.
Leave that man alone!
What's happening under my nose? He accidentally kills one of the soldiers and runs away, leading to one of the most telling lines from Ramesses.
You saw what happened. I just killed a man.
We can take care of that.
He was so unfazed by that, it makes you wonder how many people died and they just swept it under the sand.
I'm not even surprised.
There, like, a housemaid under that nose? It wouldn't surprise me.
I'm not surprised. He would act this way.
Please. The animation when Moses realizes not only what he's leaving behind, but who he's leaving behind is perfectly heartbreaking. The expressions in this film really are some of the best in hand-drawn animation.
In the stories of the Bible, Ramesses and Moses never had a close brother relationship. Ramesses was just the antagonist. In the Bible, it is written down back in the days. Back in the days, the Pharaoh was not nice. He was not compassionate like this in the movie film. That's what happens back in the day during before Christ, BC. BC stands for before Christ, AC stands for after Christ. During the Egyptian times of Moses, before Christ, the Pharaoh was not as compassionate as this. So DreamWorks are sugarcoating it and make it more interesting to have Moses and Ramesses have a close brother relationship while still being faithful to the Bible. And it turned out amazing. As a child, I accepted this type of relationship did happen back in the day, just in animated form.
The same can be said for the transitions. If you watch Moses' descent into the desert, you'll notice he dissolves from left to right, getting smaller and smaller. This isn't just done to show off, though.
Right.
Him getting smaller and the background getting bigger shows how more and more lost he's becoming, and how the brutality of the desert is slowly claiming his life, which a sandstorm almost does. Timon, you better come look!
Stop.
I think it's still alive!
Stop.
Again, really glad Schwartz did the songs on this one.
Yes.
How does it feel to be the worst cop ever, huh? Shut up, your mother buys you Mega Bloks instead of Legos. You fucking take that back.
And we're back.
Moses discovers a camel, which leads into a village where Zipporah lives with her family, and sadly recognizes him.
That's why Papa says she'll never get married.
There is a funny line here and there.
Yeah.
Ladies, you've cleaned every inch of me. Whoa, I was wrong.
That escaped me as a kid. That joke escaped me as a kid.
Midian, but claims he's done nothing worth honoring. The High Priest, played by Danny Glover, sings a nice song about how small acts of kindness can mean a world of difference.
This song is one of my favorites as a child. It's showing that showing it's a strong message. How can you judge someone for what he does? It's showing that in God's, you should not focus on what you see in Earth's eyes. Focus on what you see in God's eyes. Showing that everything has a purpose, God's eyes. It shows how much God cares about everyone. I really love this. It hits me to the feels. And the high priest singing in this animation captures it. Now, warming, welcoming voice.
And to one lost sheep, a shepherd boy is greater than the richest king.
Notice how the rug perfectly blends into the mountain? Again, not without purpose. The song explains how a thread in a tapestry is like a stone on a mountain, all of equal value.
Yes.
So the rug becoming the mountain shows the similarities. Yes, these are little touches, but as the song says, they add up to form something really special.
Correct.
Again, there's more storytelling going on than what's simply in the dialogue. And yeah, okay,
Go
these
check out
two
the music.
did get married a little fast in the story,
Check
but
out the music.
thankfully they do have chemistry in the rest of the film, so I think it makes up for it.
Actually, they didn't get married so fast. It shows time flies. Seeing how Moses grew this beard and grew the look, time did fly by, and time did go by as time it's basically a time skip inside the song. Fans people thinking it went too fast. Nah, it was a time skip through a song.
I love you.
They don't notice
be
that.
married in the morning.
Stop.
Years later, where a literal Lamb of God leads Shepherd Moses to the burning bush. Kilmer also
This scene, the burning bush scene where Moses meets God, is one of the most beautiful animated parts in my perspective, in a perfect way how it shows God.
does the voice of the Almighty, but whispered under him is actually all the people he's met in his life.
The voice actor, like you said, the voice actor of Moses plays the voice of God, with all the people in the cast members talking at the same time, and that's a very captures a perspective of how I thought what God speaks like when I was a kid.
Ramesses, Zipporah, his mother, and so forth. Again, it's a nice little detail.
Who are you?
I am that I am.
Oh,
Stop.
So Popeye.
No.
I have come down to deliver them out of slavery and bring them to a good land, flowing with milk and honey.
And it's part of our nutritious breakfast.
Stop.
It's also pretty cool that all the elements work their way in. Fire, obviously, but also wind, earth, and the reflection of water. Thank literal God this isn't a Turner production, or else he might have looked like this.
That piece of paper can be recycled and used again
No.
to make napkins, newspapers, and lots of other products even more exciting than napkins and newspapers.
Can we just talk about the fire in the burning bush? How beautiful it is. That's like holy fire from heaven. It's not burning the bush. It's in such a spiritual way. You don't see, not many effects captures this very well. No, maybe there are, but this one was just something amazing. This.
I shall teach you what to say.
Well, just that one thing, but you'll say it a lot.
How can I even speak to these people? Who made man's mouth?
Does God have to cut a bitch?
You shall do my wonders.
There also might be some symbolism around the color choices, as blue seems to indicate the Pharaoh and danger, where orange seems to be more connected to the Hebrews and freedom.
I really like the scene where when God talked to Moses, who made man's mouth? Who made the dumb, the mute, the seeing, or the blind? Did not I? Now go. Said that in a demanding voice, like a father telling his children what to do. And Moses was scared, only for God to come back like a comforting father, because he's like quick to anger, but slow. He's slow in anger, slowly gets angry, but also shows how much he does love his children. That's why I'm proud to be a Christian. God is a forgiving God. He forgives you for all you have done if you truly do feel sorry. In fact, if truly sorry for for your sins, you want to change your life for the better. And God is a loving dad. And can't say it about Funimation. Funimation likes to disrespect God, and let's just say Chris Abbott hates Christian folks. Yeah, well, it broke my heart when I heard about that. Funimation takes every jab of hating Christians, hating Jesus, hating God, and treating God as the bad guy. And Funimation dubbing likes to do that. Sometimes some animes, I don't know why they do this. I don't know why they do this. It just doesn't feel right. I feel like they just and they always get these adaptations like those who forcing religion on people. No, we don't force our religion to people. If you want to learn about God and accept Jesus into your life, we will let you wait. We let you wait if you are ready. We welcome you with open arms. We're not like those, what's that video game that you try to use? There are some terrible people who try to use God as an excuse to do terrible things, like calling people sinners, killing innocent people using God as an excuse. God does not approve of that. God does not like people using his name to kill people. He does not like that. He does not like that at all. God did not send his son to destroy. He sent his son to save.
In fact, you see the color change when he brings them up.
I have seen the oppression of my people in Egypt.
Could be overthinking it, but it's an interesting tidbit.
It is.
Once his mission is made clear, the bush blooms, and Moses tells Zipporah he must return to free his people.
Zipporah, please, look at your family.
Don't you want to get away from him for a while?
Come on.
He returns to find Ramesses has been made pharaoh, and he's ecstatic that his brother has finally returned home.
This was
I
heartwarming.
pardon forever all crimes of which he stands accused. He is the Prince of Egypt.
Sounds great. Where's my throne? Oh, I mean, I should really do the freeing thing. Can you point to where the throne would have been?
Sounds great. Where's my throne? I love that.
Admits to Ramesses that he's there to free his people, and uses God's power to turn his staff into a snake.
Oh, impressive.
He looks so unimpressed. How has that not became a meme? I'm right. I'm not wrong. How has this not become a meme? I know. How is this not a meme either? People need to watch The Prince of Egypt. There's a lot of clips you would enjoy.
The priests, however, show off their illusions, giving the impression that their gods are stronger. So admittedly, this is not the strongest song in the film, but there's a few things to keep in mind. First off, this was meant to play up the magician aspect, so it was going to be more like a Vegas number with showgirls and animals, stuff like that.
Got it.
When they decided to take a darker tone, though, they changed the orchestrations but kept the lyrics the same. Honestly, they should have changed them to be a little darker. With that said, this is the comic relief song.
Oh.
Think about that.
That is true.
Compare it to other comic relief songs you've seen in the past.
Bees the buzz, kids will blow down the lion fuzz.
You're playing with the big boys now. She wants you so when you
Oh, wow, I get it. Hunchback of Notre Dame.
By the might of Horus, you will kneel before us.
Suddenly he's looking a little bit more badass, isn't it?
Yeah.
Also, I just love this random lady's reaction to it.
I like this guy. I like this lady next to that crazy lady's reaction to it. They all look so struck. This lady looks unimpressed next to the other lady.
Like,
Oh my god, snakes! Snakes! Oh, that's like the
He said, "Oh my gosh, snakes!" And the other lady's like, yeah, I see him. I see him."
thing I like now, snakes! Oh god, snakes!
Ramesses calls Moses into his throne room, still thinking this is all a joke.
That's a
Not only do
beautiful
we
throne.
see that the dead pharaoh clearly still has hold over him, as shown through this profile shot, and the fact that his city has literally eclipsed his father's, but he also tries to make excuses for him.
His hands bore the blood of thousands of children.
Slaves.
Again, really great expression on him there.
I know.
Ramesses is honestly one of the most underrated animated villains. When you compare him to other great animated baddies like Frollo or Gaston, Ramesses is still one of the most tragic, complex, and sympathetic. He loves his brother.
That is so true. Not many people talk about Ramesses as one of the best animated villains. He's sympathetic, understanding. You see how he went from a loving brother to Moses to being his worst enemy. Not many fans talk about it because it's a Christian film. People don't care about Christian films. I mean, come on, people. Appreciate good work of art when you see it. And as well as the characters in here. Characters straight from the Bible thousands and thousands of years ago.
But we've seen clearly the responsibility that's been hammered
Events
into him by his
thousands of years
father.
ago.
In some of the best animation in the movie, and that's really saying something, he comes to grips with the situation by going through every expression you could imagine. Ray Fiennes didn't even think they'd be able to pull this off in animation. But you know instantly in every second what different emotion he's going through. I sadly can't show it all here because, you know, YouTube!
Yeah.
But I suggest you find the scene and watch it on your own. It's really an incredible
It's a
moment.
powerful scene.
Ramesses, please, you must listen.
I will not be the weak link. Goodbye. Ha! 90s references. I love them.
I get it.
Oh, by the way, their workload has been doubled.
Oh, yeah.
The slaves hate Moses for making things worse, especially his brother, who's now bringing his full Goldblum.
When did you
Full Goldblum.
start caring about slaves? Was
Full
it when you
Goldblum.
found out that you were one of us?
And before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. You want to sell it. Well,
wow.
We didn't see because you didn't wish to see. Ah.
That is the satisfied look of the ultimate Goldblum. You did it. No will ever be more Goldblum.
That was the perfect Goldblum I have to admit.
Ah.
Now all we need is the ultimate. Yeah, that one's definitely still in the lead.
Aaron, you shame yourself.
Uh-oh. Should I change my pants? Miriam gives Moses the motivation to confront Ramesses again, turning the river into blood. The priest, through another illusion, seemed to do the same thing.
Yeah, fake illusion.
Kool-Aid. Strawberry. I love my yummy wummy raw blood. Strawberry, Moses.
As a kid, I thought it was cherry. I like cherry Kool-Aid, not strawberry.
Dork.
Although strawberry is good.
The Hebrews grow more nervous, but Moses gives a motivational speech.
He can take away your food, your home, your freedom, your sons and daughters. Pharaoh can take away your very lives.
A very bad motivational speech.
It's hard to understand.
This starts the plague song as God goes Old Testament on their asses, throwing everything at them. Fire.
Every plague in this series, in this moment, is like this, like God showing, oh, the Egyptian gods are weak. Let me show you the one true God that is in charge.
Locusts and frogs that were clearly designed in a hurry.
Yeah, pretty much. This song is so powerful.
This is visually my favorite song in the film, as there's so much conflict going on. It's shown beautifully with the music. And again, the transitions are awesome. I love.
Like I said, this shows basically God's plagues against Egypt. Basically showing his power over every plague represents the power, the deities of the Egyptians, and God, and shows how overpowered God is, that he is the one true God, that these Egyptian gods are nothing. Like in the Testament, thou shalt not worship any other God before him.
These cracks that are about to outline Moses' face. It quickly becomes silhouetted, only to discover its two faces, once again colored blue and orange. It's pretty sweet, though I will admit it does have kind of a sports graphic feel to it.
Welcome to the annual East-West Bowl, as we get ready to watch some of the best college players of the nation.
I didn't notice that. Now I see it.
Again, shot for shot, contrasting the last time he was there, and once again finds Ramesses in his father's lap.
Talk to me. We could always talk here.
I think it's important to note that when Ramesses does start to open up, he's probably a little drunk, which leads to his vulnerability immediately being challenged when he discovers his son there.
It's so dark.
Look at how terrified he is of him.
I noticed that.
There's so much you can read into that reaction, especially given his past with his own father.
Are there any other animation who captures that?
I do.
Fearing he'll look weak in front of his son and again wanting to follow his dad's footsteps, he makes the threat to finish off what his father started years ago.
Oh yeah. This scene.
Let me move out of the way of this foreshadowing here. Oh, wait a minute! I'm the gator kibble, aren't I?
Yes!
That night, the final plague is unleashed as the Angel of Death smites all the firstborn sons except for those who put the blood of a lamb on their door.
Okay, this scene here, Israelites, the blood on the lamb thing, Israelites who put blood on their doors, so as the Angel of Death walks by, they will ignore it. Then let them know that this is God's people, you do not touch them. And mostly the Egyptians and their firstborn child, they die. And God does not like doing this. He never does, because God is not the type of person who enjoys killing people, especially his children. This breaks his heart, and it's one of the saddest moments. It is one of the saddest moments in the Bible, seeing all those children take their lives taken away, all because of the Pharaoh being stubborn and refused to listen to Moses to let the Israelites go. If he would have let the slaves free, none of this, it wouldn't have led to this. Thing is, God knows what's going to happen in the future. He knew how stubborn the Pharaoh is. And it breaks his heart, and it breaks God's heart seeing the people suffer. These are his children. We are his children. No one has to suffer, but we got stubborn people filled with darkness in their hearts, like the Pharaoh here, who refuse to listen. God has to take drastic measures. A sad moment.
The scene is fittingly creepy, but I will admit there's something about the Angel of Death checking the door that does make me laugh a little bit. Almost like they're scoping for a no-soliciting sign. Something about it makes it less mystical and more utilitarian.
Honey, did you take out the garbage?
Yeah.
Did you feed the cats?
Yeah.
Did you put the lamb's blood on the door? You forgot to put the lamb's blood on the door?
Don't yell at me!
We'll put it up there right now before...
Oh, no.
Well, great. Timmy's dead.
I thought it was done Friday.
It's not a weekly thing!
Ramesses' son is taken as well, and he finally gives in.
You have my permission to go.
Can you give us directions so we don't get lost for 40 years?
Leave me.
All right. Who died? Oh, right. I'll show myself out.
No, don't joke about that.
Song When You Believe.
And that 40 years thing.
Beautifully sung and orchestrated and joyful.
Also, that 40 years thing. They do get lost in the desert for 40 years. That does happen. But eventually they do find it. They do find it.
And uplifting. The only thing I don't like, how it starts.
Really?
Moses is crushed. God basically murdered his nephew with his help. His family tries to console him, and the first thing his sister says is this.
Many nights we've prayed.
That is not what anyone would want to hear.
Yeah.
If she wants to sing, great, but sing to yourself or other people like Zipporah does. This is the equivalent of, come on, Moses, gray skies are gonna clear up. Seriously, if I was Moses in this scene, I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Heavy shit on my mind, man. Give me 10. No. We can sing Kumbaya later. You give me 10. Shh. Damn, bitch. Also, there is something a little funny that this is a duet with Zipporah, as Miriam sings how she's been in captivity all her life, and Zipporah has been in captivity for a day?
Yeah.
Half a night?
Maybe she wants to join in.
Builds up to the climax where Ramesses changes his mind and chases after them, but a fiery blaze stops them in their tracks.
Yeah, this happened.
Okay, I'll level with you. There is no God. I made it up. I have no idea how all this strange shit is happening. Please don't hurt me. No, of course, he parts the Red Sea in one of the film's most stunning visuals, and they take advantage of how epic they can make it look. Every shot, you feel the size, cold, and texture of the scene. Again,
I love this. The splitting of the Red Sea, basically one of the most iconic parts of Moses. And yeah, the fiery tornado. God sent a fiery tornado to halt him, to put a stop to the Pharaoh's army trying to go past and try to attack the Israelites. He slowed them down. Bide them time.
It's spectacularly done. But God wants to make his third act more interesting, so he stops the fire before they
I
all
wouldn't
cross.
say it like that, but yeah. What?
Hurry! Must go faster.
They make it just in time as the sea drops, washing Ramesses back to shore.
You know, in many versions of the Red Sea, normally the Pharaoh stays behind and send his soldiers to attack. Sometimes the Pharaoh just goes in with the army and the Pharaoh dies with them all. But this one kind of do a little bit of both. Except he survives, he gets washed back into where he belonged.
I really dig how there's a solid half a minute of silence just taking in what happened. Again, it makes the unbelievable seem more believable, before Moses stares across the sea, once again bookending the last time he said goodbye to his brother. What?
So,
You suck!
wow.
Yeah, I'm going with my people. Cut to Moses with the 10 Commandments. I'll just assume the rest of the happy ending is in the Snyder Cut. And we wrap up, in my opinion,
one of the best Moses stories.
one of the best hand-drawn movies ever made. Even over 20 years later, this movie is a marvel.
Yes, it is.
At the time, it was the most expensive animated film ever made, and the money is truly on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
I can see why some people don't get into its attempts to hit a younger demographic, but the artistry and storytelling clearly meant for adults is well worth several viewings. Every time I see it, I notice something I missed before. The detail is so rich and the passion so vibrant. I know it didn't change cinema or anything like that, but it told a great story with great characters using great songs and great visuals.
It did.
It truly does deserve more attention, more praise, and more people talking about it. So if you haven't seen it yet, check it out. And if you have before, take another look, because there's always something new to discover each time.
Oh yeah, I really love this movie.
Gee, Critic, do you really mean it?
Yes.
With all my...
Critic!
Oh wow.
I thought I was the greatest Moses movie ever made.
Oh no, baby, it ain't like that.
Oh, it is like that, bitch. There's a new
No.
hotness in town.
Hey, don't you talk to her that way.
Don't you talk to her that way. That way!
Look, I was just trying to...
You better pack up, because your boring 3.5-hour ass is out of here.
Well, I'd much rather be too long than not long enough.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh,
Wow.
I know exactly what it means.
I'm the nostalgia critic. I remember it, so you don't have to.
How do you
Yeah.
sleep at
Best to
night?
walk
In a
away
bed
from this.
with my man.
Okay, that was one time.
Okay.
Ah.
There it is. Well, that was the Prince of Egypt, Nostalgia Critic. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the reaction video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more. What were your thoughts on this? Did you enjoy it? Let me know in the comments down below. What was your favorite parts in the Prince of Egypt? And do you wish for more Christian animated series to be like this? Also, check out Superbook. It's a really good one. It's a really good series. Let me know in the comments down below. As always, take care, have a great day, be safe, and most importantly, stay frosty and stay healthy out there. Catch you all later, and make sure to wash your hands.
The number you've dialed is no longer in service. Check your telephone directory or the information operator for the correct number and go to hell.